George Gissing is a naturalist novelist of Victorian era. His novels include Workers in the Dawn and The Unclassed, The Netherworld, New Grub Street, and New Grub Street is thought his best work. His naturalism was based on the writings of Emile Zola, who was French novelist known for naturalism. In certain places, he shows a greater degree of sentiment and social concern. And we can say sentiment makes his works weaker. Another novelist was George Moore. He wrote A Modern Love, that was a novel set in Bohemian artistic society. This was banned by the circulating libraries and inspired Moore to fight censorship for the rest of his career. As mentioned, there was influence of Karl Marx and proletariat novels were also written. It's one example is Arthur Morrison's works that include Tales of Mean Streets, A Child of the Jago, Henry Mayhew's novels like London Labourers and London Poor and London Children. They provide detailed records of real suffering of the people of the time. In Victorian age, we see a diversity that is seen in the works of the authors who are writing with social consciousness or historical consciousness or gender consciousness or the idea of social commitment and social duty. But there was also fantasy, and that can be seen in the works of Lewis Carroll, known for his masterpiece Alice Adventures in the Wonderland. Children love that novel, and Through the Looking Glass. They are examples of mid-Victorian fantasies. They can be forerunner of surrealist novel. Detective story originating in America with Edgar Allan Poe in the 1840s finds its expression in novels such as The Moonstone by Vicky Collins. Vicky Collins, I have mentioned, he is thought the detective novelist, Gothic novelist, and he is thought the best Gothic writer in English novels. Vicky Collins' highly successful novel The Woman in White. R.L. Stevenson or Robert Louis Stevenson, who rises above any attribution of his work to the field of children's literature. He is best known for his work Treasure Island. Stevenson, like Oscar Wilde, was a writer in many genres, from drama to travel writing, from fiction to poetry. He was one of the first writers to become a world traveler, writing anywhere but referring constantly to his Calvinist background and upbringing in Scotland. Most of his novels have Scottish setting. Oscar Wilde wrote The Picture of Dorian Gray. The Picture of Dorian Gray, I think more than the novel, its preface is remembered. And this preface is remembered for superb quality of wit. The Picture of Dorian Gray is the story of a beautiful young man and his portrait as he ages. He keeps his good looks and indulges himself in all kinds of sensual pleasure without regard to moral consequences. But his portrait changes, reflecting the corruption of his soul. Wilde remains detached and refuses to pass judgment. Wilde's view of art is that the artist can have no ethical sympathies. There is a quotation from preface to The Picture of Dorian Gray. All art is at once surface and symbol. Surface and symbol. Those who go beneath the surface do so at their peril. Those who read the symbol do so at their peril. So you can smell limitation of each school of thought is exposed in the works of Oscar Wilde, whether it's his short story, The Happy Prince, or his play, The Importance of Being Honest, or his novel, The Portrait of the Picture of Dorian Gray. Next novelist is Thomas Hardy, who shared some part of modern age as well, but he didn't write after, you can say, 19th century. Writing the masterpieces like Test of the D'Urberville, Jude the Obscure, and The Return of the Native, he left writing on novels and paid attention to his poetry. Thomas Hardy is something of an outsider. He came from the rural county of Dorset, that is part of uh, Wessex, which is in his novels becomes Wessex, the fictional countryside. with a long historical past which is markedly distant from the capital city, London. Thomas Hardy's novel Tess, uh, there is protagonist with the same name, Tess. She delivers milk on a cart to the local station as the milk train arrives. Tess is presented here as foreign, as an outsider in a rural world which has seen rapid change, including the mechanization of transport. Hardy presents this new world largely through the eyes and inner thoughts of the character Tess. Tess is an uneducated farm laborer who speaks in the local dialect of a region and who possesses sharp insight, natural intelligence, and deep feelings. Tess is one in a line of those heroines of Hardy that include Bathsheba Everdens in Far From the Madding Crowd, Grace Melbury in The Woodlander, whose nature makes them outsider in their own society. As they fall victim to forces and changes, most of Hardy's novels are tragedies, not in the sense as we see dramatic tragedies advocated by Aristotle, because Aristotle believes that tragedy should be in dramatic form, not in narrative. But here we see the novels, a narrative genre, and here characters suffering, and that suffering, in what way uh, changes our feelings and contributes for the growth and development of protagonist. Thomas Hardy's two major novels are Tess of the D'Urberville and Jude the Obscure. Tess is a deeply pessimistic novel that reveals how an intelligent and sensitive girl can be driven to her death by a society which is narrow in morality and inspired. As the novel Tess shows that she becomes victim, victim of those social conventions which just have a focus on the end result, not the factors that lead to that end. Tess, who is forced to go to Alex's home, and once while returning from a fair, Alec and Tess, they spend a night in the vicinity of forest where Tess is raped, and afterwards she gets pregnant, and when she returns to her parents' home, she gives birth to a girl. Her name is Sorrow, and that uh, illegitimate child is neither owned by a society nor church, and Tess actually bears the burden of the birth of unwanted child, though the child later on dies. And then there is another attempt on the part of Tess to live in a hostile world. When she works on a dairy farm, and here she meets Angel Clare, son of a priest, but interested in farming. She wanted to share the secret what has happened to her, and she wrote a letter, but that letter was slipped under the carpet, and Angel Clare proposed her and she accepted, and after marriage she knew what has happened. She had no desire to hurt her husband, deceive her husband, but once when Angel Clare insisted to share what's her true past, and when she relates the incident of her rape, Angel Clare is shocked. He cannot reconcile with the situation. He goes to Brazil, and in his absence, Tess is forced to support her family, who is leading a life of helplessness after the death of Tess' father. Now, Tess is forced to work in a factory, and here she again meets Alec, and this time Alec again forces her for a relationship, and that relationship causes a torment for Tess, and she finds no other way except the murder of Alec. Meanwhile, Angel Clare also returns, but when he returns, Tess has committed a murder, and both of them escape for a while, and they spend some time, and afterwards she is found guilty, she is convicted, and she is hanged. Before her death, uh, Tess asked her husband Angel Clare to marry her younger sister. In this way, um, Tess uh, shows that how human beings are helpless, how circumstances decide the future of the characters, how will is yielded to overwhelming power of some unseen forces. Jude the Obscure has another central character, Jude Foley, whose sensual nature cannot be accommodated by a rigid and inflexible system. Jude the Obscure is thought an attack on Victorian chains of class consciousness and social conventions. Tess is a modern version of the Ruined Map Maid. The Ruined Maid is a ballad that has been used in the novel as well. Thomas Hardy brings together such traditional forms and concepts like ballad, sets them in a literary context which goes back to Greek tragedy and brings out issues which are highly relevant to his own day. Hardy vision has been called tragic, and the fate of many of his characters is indeed black. Henchard, he is a character in the Mayor of the Castle Bridge. Henchard rises to power, then brings about his own fall in a manner that recalls the classical form tragic drama. But his intention is also social. These characters are untangled in a situation where they hardly find an escape. I mean, Tess attempt fail, even though that was a bold and rebellious act on her part, that she kills the cause of her disgrace. I mean, Alec, but she is charged with murder and she is hanged. Jude the Obscure is also a savage attack on restrictions of late Victorian society, and that novel caused a terrible scandal as Tess of the D'Urberville had done before. That's you can say 4 or 5 years difference in their publication. It was burned, banned, and denounced. Hardy became so discouraged by his by this reaction that he stopped writing novels, publishing only The Well Beloved before dedicating himself entirely to poetry. So just he finished what was already in progress, that's The Well Beloved, and afterwards he left novel writing and paid attention to poetry. Hardy's career as a novelist marks the end of the dominance of triple-decker long Victorian novel. From this time, novels in generally become shorter and are usually published in volume form. Hardy's Wessex is not a romanticized landscape. Contrary to the view taken by some of his critics, Hardy's world is one of the considerable social upheaval as settled communities face the disruption caused by the mechanization of agriculture in the 19th century. Hardy focuses less on plot, more on the lyrical revelation of character, using techniques of episodic structure. It also captures dialect. At the end here, one American novelist is being mentioned, and it can be because of the reason that uh, he became a British citizen for a while. Henry James is less appreciated for his novels and more appreciated for the ideas about novels, which is actually seen in his preface, which he wrote uh, to his novels. His novels are mostly about disillusionment of the Americans who had an illusion of European civilization, and which they, when they are in contact with England, they realize that English civilization or European civilization was no more than an illusion. Europe, the Americans, the Daisy Miller, the Portrait of a Lady, Turning the Screw, the Wings of the Dove, the Ambassadors, they are examples of uh, that disillusionment. There were some novelists who were later on categorized as popular novelist, and H. Rider Haggard, he was probably the best in his time, very like John Grisham in our own age, or Stephen King. Rider Haggard, known for his novel, which is a best novel that is called King Solomon's Mines. And these are the novels which are about fantasies and adventures.